Hello and welcome back to Before You Summon, the show where I wonder who let Airi drive. This seems like a really poor choice. The next event therefore is Beyond the Dream of That Day and will start November 30th. This is a cheerful carnival, meaning that the cards are limited. It is of course a more jump focused event with the pure attribute. The focus characters are therefore Minori, Haruka, Airi, Shizuku, and more jump MEIKO. Because this is not a mixed event, every single virtual singer with the more jump tag will also be available to give the 50% bonus. The card selection this time around is therefore rather nice. We have a single 1-star available in the form of Minori. We have 4 available 2-stars, the cards in question being Haruka, Minori, Shizuku, and more Kaito. For once, we also have 5 available 3-stars, these cards being the original Airi, the Cafe Gacha MEIKO, the more X-Mass Kaito, the more jump Miku from last year's New Year's Eve event, and finally Minori from the Radiant Blue Sky. On top of that, we have 8 available 4-stars with the 50% bonus, 3 of which are limited. These limited cards in question is the 1st anniversary Minori, the wedding Shizuku from this summer, and finally 2nd anniversary Shizuku. The 5 remaining 4-stars of the permanent variety is the Sports Festival Haruka, Fairy Airi, and finally the trio from the event Cast a Spell on You being more jump Miku, Shizuku, and Minori. And as a final bonus, we have 1 card available from the birthday lineup, being last year's Airi card. Because of this being a unit-focused event, the Virtual Singer characters with the Virtual Singer tag is also available with a 40% bonus. The pure attribute Virtual Singer cards in question is the 1-star Luca, the 1st year anniversary MEIKO card, the 1st year anniversary Len card, and of course both the Miku and the Luca from the colorful festival lineup of 2nd anniversary. This is a super strong lineup in my opinion, as it gives a lot of option for Kisuna rank farming during this event and also opens the door for a full team of 3-stars. It is a bit of a shame that 2 of the limited cards are Shizuku cards and that Shizuku has 3 4-stars available. The fact that Shizuku has also shown up in 3 different pure events in 1 year is kinda concerning, but it's whatever. It is only Rin of the virtual singers who are not available with the pure attribute at least at 40% bonus, which is interesting as Rin is the more jump mascot except for Miku. That said, I am sure most people can at least build a really solid team even if it's made up of 2 and 3 stars and no 4 stars. I think that this event really does show that the Sekai balancing is a bit weird. We have so many cards for say more jump pure, yet we have so little when it comes to Nightcore 25 Mysterious that it's instead hard to build a team. I think it's a very interesting aspect of the game, but I hope that most people can at least make a decent team and maybe pick up some new Kisuna ranks and some wish pieces, or maybe even the large can for Kisuna rank 8. But that's enough dilly-daddying about the cards, let's get on to the card and costume showcase. So the question is, have these cards seen any use on the Japanese server as far as we can currently see? And sadly, these cards have not seen any use as far as we can see on the Japanese side of things. There have been 7 pure events on the Japanese side, 6 of which are unit focused. There have been 2 Leonid events and then 1 of each of the other units, meaning that More Jump is the only one without a pure event during 2024. The singular mixed event in the pure attribute is the wedding event in June, and the wedding event is of course a mix of Nightcore 25 and Leonid, and I can't forget Emu, she's also here. This means that none of the cards are useful for the time being, but they will see use during the World Link event sometime in 2025 for us on the EN side. I will not go into more detail about that, as I will most likely make a video about the World Link events when we get a bit closer. For now, let's get into the final question of the hour. Should you summon from this gacha? The answer is, as always, yes, you should summon from this gacha if these cards are your favorites. If these cards make you happy, they are definitely worth summoning from. After all, it is your gems, your choice, and your account. There are no meta in Project Sekai, and therefore you should summon the cards that you like the most. But there are a few things we can point out about this gacha. Of course, this is a limited gacha since it is a Cheerful carnival, meaning that these cards have a bit more urgency to be summoned than, say, a permanent gacha that we normally see. I think these cards have a lot of good things about them, especially considering we haven't seen a lot of limited cards for MMJ. The pop art aesthetic continues for at least Airi and Haruka, MEIKO being kinda left out as this weird outlier in this set where she has a very normal art style. I will say though that I think the Haruka baby card art for the untrained version is kinda terrifying. I will say I like the costumes a lot, but they feel kinda niche in their usage, as I don't know how often you can fit in the pilot theme into your groups, as it is a bit more of an odd choice. I also am not sure that I particularly love the hairstyle for Haruka, Airi, or MEIKO. MEIKO, as always, feels kinda underwhelming, as she seems to never get any haircut that lengthens or even shortens her hair. It's always the same length, just a slightly different bag. I would say that Haruka has 2 better haircuts, with the Sun Hat from Colorful Festival and also the New Year's gacha that will rerun in just a month. And Airi feels, I don't know, worse than the original haircut, but that's a very personal take about the haircuts. I just think that this gacha is good, but it's not as good as it could be. Therefore, as a MMJ fan myself, I will be skipping this gacha altogether. The pop art is though beautiful, and I can definitely see why you would want to summon from this gacha. This is also Haruka's voice actor's favorite event, as her parents are both pilots, so I can definitely see all the Haruka stans really wanting to be part of this event and have these cards. That these cards haven't seen any use is kind of reasonable, with the fact that MMJ had 3 events where they showed up pure during 2023, but it is kind of iffy summoning cards that will not see use until 2025. Of course, with limited cards you can always flex that you have the card while using another card by having the character wear the hairstyle or the outfit in question. So it's not a totally lost cause when it comes to limited cards to summon, even if the cards don't see use. But of course, there are a lot of other alternatives for limited cards during 2024 when it comes to the More Jump girls. MMJ MEIKO is of course exclusive to this gacha, as she hasn't really seen any more 4-star cards since this gacha, so she's definitely up there for a reason why you would summon her. Airi does get her Cafe Rec limited card, which comes up again as Cafe Rec seems to be the anchor point of 2024 when it comes to these episodes. Both Airi and Haruka will get another limited card during late 2024 in the event The Warmth That Guides Us. This event ran from October 31st to November 6th. And I will say that this Haruka haircut from The Warmth That Guides Us is one of my favorite for the character, and I think that Airi is pretty cute, but I will say that I do not like the costumes for this event whatsoever, as they feel like a worse version of Retied Friendship. As for MEIKO, she will show up in the Colorful Festival gacha for the 3rd anniversary with the card with that name in my heart. She's of course then a Colorful Festival pick, and also in this gacha is Minori if you're really interested in more Jump limited cards. With that, I think I've rambled on more than enough about the cards and why you should summon. Hopefully you've come to a conclusion if you're going to summon from this gacha at all or not. So please, in the comments, tell me what you think about this gacha. Do you agree with my opinions about the hairstyles, the card costumes and the card art, or do you think that I'm being too harsh? Or do you think I'm being too mild and you hate this gacha? I really want to know your opinions. If you do not have any strong opinions or you agree with me, why don't you tell me if you're going to tier, or maybe if you're going to summon at all. The interaction on these videos does help, and I've seen further reach the more you guys have interacted. So please, while you're down there commenting, can you also like the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, and if you do have a friend that's into Project Sekai, maybe share the new episode. It means a lot that you guys are just watching, and the people who do these things really warms my heart, but it's not a necessity if you do not want to do them. Thanks as always for watching. Let's get out of here for the week.